All right, today I'm going to show you another way that we can solve the percent problem of missing the whole. Please excuse my handwriting because I don't have my pen at home with me right now, so I'm going to have to write it with my finger, which in the past when I've done that is just super messy. So we've already learned how to find the whole by using a double number line. Some of us enjoyed that method, some of us not so much, so I'm going to show you another way that you could do it. So we can also find the whole by using a ratio table. And equivalent ratios, just meaning that whatever we do to one number, we have to do to the other number. All right, so let's do an example together that would be like that. 20% of what number is 50? This means that 20% is equal to 50. So when we set up our ratio table, I'm going to make it going across just so that we have more space. You can always make it going down. It does not matter which way you make your ratio table. Remember, our first entry always has to be like the percent, or sorry, not the percent, the label. So one of our numbers is our percent, the other one is just a number. Yes, this is a number sign, not just a hashtag. So if you want to write out the word like percent here and number here, that's fine too. And then we're going to go ahead and put our first ratio in there. So we have 20%, so 20 should go in with the label with the percent is equal to 50. Now remember, when we're finding the whole, we want 100% equals the whole number. So for example, like if you get 100% on our test and there's 25 questions, that means that you got 25 questions right, because 100% of 25 is 25. So when we're given 20% of a number, we just have to get that to be 100%, and then we'll know what number it is. Okay, so to get 20% to be 100, we could either count by 20s, like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and then on the bottom we could count by 50s, 50, 100, 150, 200, and so on. Or you can go straight there. So I know that I can go straight from 20% to 100% by multiplying by 5. So I could do the same thing on the bottom. Well, I have to do the same thing on the bottom. Whatever I do to one number in the ratio, I have to do to the other number. 50 times 5, I'm going to take off that 0, ignore that 0, and do 5 times 5, which is 25, and then add that 0 back on. Okay, so our answer is 250. If you're feeling confident in this method, go ahead and pause the video and try the next few on your own. There might be examples where there's extra steps added in. For example, this example was easy because we could get 20% straight to 100, but we are going to go through some examples that we can't go straight to 100. So up to you if you want to work ahead. Just make sure you check your answers with the video to make sure we're getting them correct. All right, next we have 30% of what number is 18. This means that 30% equals 18. So 30% is 18. So I'm going to start setting up that table. I've got my percent and my number. Remember, my labels always go first. Otherwise, it's so hard to make meaning of this table if we don't know what number is the percent, what one is the number, because we might accidentally try to get like this down here to be 100 when we need the percent to be 100. Okay, then we're going to fill in our first ratio. 30% is equal to 18. Now I'm going to think to myself, can I go from 30 straight to 100? No, because if I count by 30s, it'd be 30, 60, 90, 120. I'd skip over that 100. So I'm going to have to get 30 down to a number that I could then get back up to 100. So start thinking about what I could get 30 down to that I could then get back up to 100. I could get it down to like 2, but that would be dividing by 15, and I don't want to divide 18 by 15. That's too messy. I could get it down to 5, dividing by 6. I could divide 18 by 6, so that one would work. I could also get it down to 10, dividing by 3, because I can divide 18 by 3. So I'm going to go with that one because I think that one's the easiest to get back up to 100. But any number that would work that you can divide 18 and 30 both by would be fantastic. So I'm going from 30 to 10, dividing by 3. Whatever I do to one number, I'm going to do to the other number. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, now I need to get that percent to equal 100, and I know that I can go from 10 to 100 by multiplying by 10. Whatever I do to one number in the ratio, I have to do to the other number in order to keep it equivalent. 6 times 10, oops, would be 60. So 100% of this number would be 60. Therefore, our answer is 60. Okay. All right. Let's, oops. Not having my pen is really messing with me right now. Let's do a 40%. Again, if you're feeling comfortable, go ahead, pause this video, and you can just resume it to check. 40% of what number is 16? So 40% is 16. So we're going to set up that table. Percent number. I have 40% is equal to 16. Now I can't count by 40s to get to 100. It would go straight from 80 to 120. So I know that I have to get 40 down to a number that I can then get back up to 100. And we have a couple options here. Okay, I could divide both of them by 2 and get it to 20 and 8. I could also divide them both by 4 and get it to 10 and 4. It does not matter which way you go about that. I could divide them both by 8 and get it to 5 and 2. Any of those options would have worked, so if your table does not match mine, that's fine, as long as we get to the same answer. I'm going to go to 10. I just think going from 10 to 100 multiplying by 10 is just super simple, so I'm going to always try to get it down to 10 if I can. Dividing by 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. All right, now I need to get that percent up to 100 because we want to find the whole number. And that whole number is going to be 100% of the number. 100% of 40 is 40. So we're trying to find 100% of that number. To go from 10 to 100, I'm going to multiply by 10. Whatever I do to one number in the ratio, I have to do to the other one in order to keep them equal. 4 times 10 is going to get us to 40. All right, let's do that last one. If you haven't yet, I want you to try to pause the video and try this one on your own. I know it is like the hardest number that we'll be doing, but go ahead and try to at least get it set up, and then you can resume it to help me get you started on the table, but I really want you to start being able to do some of this stuff on your own. All right, so 70% of what number is 35? This means that 70% is equal to 35. We want to know what is 100% equal. So I make my ratio table with my percent and my number. 70% is equal to 35. I'm starting to think like, what can I divide 70 and 35 both by? I can get 70 down to 10. Always want to try to get down to 10 if I can. That would be dividing by 7. So I check to see, can I divide 35 by 7? Yeah, I can. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I will be dividing by 10. Oh, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. My bad. I'm trying to divide by 7 to get it down to 10. Sorry, guys. If you need to pause and erase what you just wrote down, go for it. Once I divide by 7 on the top, I divide by 7 on the bottom, and I would get 5. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get that percent up to 100. To try to go from 10 to 100, I'm going to multiply by 10. Do the same thing on the bottom. 5 times 10 is 50. Whatever 100%, whatever number 100% equals is our answer. So now you have two different methods that you'll be able to use to find the whole, that double number line or the ratio table. You can use whichever method is easiest for you. I just want to give you multiple ways to do it so that you can pick, like, hey, the double number line, that makes sense to me. Ratio table, I like that more. Whatever you like more is what you can use.